Okay, in 2 minutes, guys, Black Widow will be sitting right there. And by the way, she's married to Colin Jost. I'm obsessed with SNL. This is crazy.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
So Scarlett Johansson's here, and even though we could go on for an hour and a half or more about Black Widow, we have something new we got to talk about. First of all, thank you for being on the show this morning. Congratulations on your new line.
Thank you for having me. That's very exciting. Very exciting.
So, just to let you know, we've had most of your family on. We've had your husband, your brother-in-law, and your mother-in-law on our show. And now, you know, minus your baby on the show, I think we're almost done. This is good.
When you said my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law, I was like, wait, what is he talking about? Actually, very few people know my mother-in-law is she's actually much more popular than I ever will be.
She's a firecracker. She's awesome.
She is awesome. She is awesome. I've actually gotten a lot of free breakfasts because of her. So thanks, Carrie.
Okay, there you go. Hey, so Scarlett, let's talk about the outset. Your new collection of I'm reading from my script, consciously clean, minimalist skincare essentials. It was released yesterday. So first of all, when you release something like that, and you're just an amazing actor, and we know you from that side of your life, obviously you've been in a laboratory somewhere learning and experimenting and coming up with this line that you want to put your name on. Talk about that journey.
Yeah, it's been it's been a project I've been working on for about 5 years. You know, I worked for a lot of prestige beauty brands for a very long time, since I was, 19, 20 years old. And I think at some point in my late 20s, I just felt like I don't know, I just didn't want to fit someone else's beauty ideal. And I felt like I had something to say, and I was looking for something in the beauty space that didn't exist for me. And so I started on the path of starting what I didn't know was going to be building a startup, and really, doing it from the ground up. So I feel like I've gotten my MBA in the last 5 years. It's in an industry I'm completely unfamiliar with, or was completely unfamiliar with, and met a lot of really helpful and very, really like highly experienced people along the way that gave me some great advice. And now our line is finally launching, and building this line through the pandemic with the supply chain, issues, and it's been adventurous, to say the least.
I'm sure lots to learn, things you didn't even know existed. You needed to learn, learned. But what is it from a personal perspective? What was it you were missing in a line like this that you really, really needed and decided to create?
It's a really crowded space, and there's a lot of noise. And I think in some ways it's like you almost need a kind of PhD to understand like what interacts with what, or what's going to be, stripping, your skin barrier and what, all of that stuff. It just feels so complicated. And I felt like there was space for something that reduced all of that noise and was simple and effective and clean and transparent. And, it's really interesting when I first started bringing in, you have different benchmarks. Okay, this is a cleanser I've used for whatever, 10 years, and this is my go-to moisturizer. And then you start to break down the ingredient list, you actually realize, how much harmful stuff you're putting on your face, and then goes back into the environment. And you can't really like unsee that. Once you're like, but I really love that cleanser. It's like, I'm not going to make that again. So it was quite a challenge coming up with a clean skincare line. We've eliminated 2,700 harmful ingredients, taken a really mindful approach to our packaging and just kind of what we put out there or what we don't put out there. It's having those sort of guidelines, and then also having it be effective has been, it's, like I said, been a challenge, but it's been a real welcome challenge. And, it's taken a long time to get here, but I really feel incredibly proud and can stand behind what we're putting out with the outset.
I love that so much of this stuff is plant-based, because I think so many people don't even realize the not plant-based material and some of the things that go into our makeup that we're putting all over our face. So for you, what made you go in that direction, and what is a big difference between the plant-based and the other stuff that we use that's, the dollar store or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was sort of like I was saying, I would look at the breakdown list of my really expensive night cream or whatever and realize, oh, I'm actually putting like petroleum on my face. I had no idea. And actually realizing that a lot of the ingredients across the board, whether they were in a $200 skin cream or a $20 skin cream that you get at the drugstore, were very had similar harmful ingredients. And I think I think in good conscience, couldn't kind of go that route. It's like once you look pure under the hood, you just can't, you can't kind of unsee it. And our products all have one of the ingredients that I found was on a lot of the products I was using was hyaluronic acid. And so we actually created a botanical alternative to hyaluronic acid that we call Hyaluracet complex. It's in all of our ingredients, an ingredient that's in all of our products. And it's incredibly moisturizing. It's, rejuvenating and plumping, and has all of the, same or similar benefits of using the hyaluronic acid, but it's vegan and not allergen free, gluten free. And we really kind of went down that road, and we are very, very proud of it. So
I don't know. It just doesn't sound like it tastes very good. I mean, I guess if you're not going to rub gasoline on your face, you might as well just use the right ingredients. Danielle, do you have a question for Scarlett?
Yeah. So if you're involved in the whole process, obviously. So have you put something on your face where you went, oh no, or you put something else from your line and you go, yeah, this is the one?
I mean, it was really interesting to do this over the quarantine time because everybody needed a little more self-love, I think, during that time. And so we were doing a lot of product testing, and thank God for FedEx sending samples back and forth. And, since I wasn't seeing many people, obviously, my husband was also trying out the products because, he was another person that I was seeing. And we definitely had, in the beginning, our line is very refined. It's 6 SKUs, and we really wanted to do those right before we introduced, anything else into the line. But at the time, earlier on, we were thinking maybe we should do a face mask or different treatment, weekly treatments and stuff like that. So we at one point tested a self-heating mask, which I like, but I guess it's pretty polarizing. I did forget to tell Colin that it was self-heating. So I think he thought his face was melting off. And probably was running to grab a Benadryl or something like that. But yeah, definitely should let people know, warn them of what the effects they may feel are.
What's going to happen. You know what though, you bring up a great point, and you've been talking about and thinking about doing this for 5-10 years. But during pandemic, when you're shut down, you're forced to go, okay, what can we do today? You actually brought this thing to life. And we hear so many stories from our listeners about how their lives have changed over such a delicate, awful, crappy time for many, but it's changed for the better. Gandhi, for instance, is now an artist. Danielle got to spend more time with her kids. My man boobs got larger because I was eating banana bread all the time. But look what you've done. I mean, so when it comes time to get back on the set or start reading scripts again, obviously you're doing that now. Do you how does it change your life knowing that you are capable and able and excited to do things other than what you have built your foundation on? You know what I'm saying?
Totally. I mean, it's been incredibly fulfilling to learn an entirely new industry. Like I said, it's a completely different industry than I'm familiar with, and people that are highly accomplished, that I get to work with every day that have joined the company. And it's for me, I've been working in film for 30 years and I love my job, and I love it now more than I ever have. I love acting, I love producing, and bringing stories to the screen. But I also, I have other interests, and I love the team building aspect of this work, and I feel really passionate about it, and being able to have something like tangible that you've helped create is, that you can hold and like share with other people in this different kind of way is really fun. And I like I said, I love my day job, but going off to make a film, I mean, that's like 6 months of time, and it's, I'm working often like 15, 16 hours a day, and it's a kind of work that I do that's very, when I'm doing that, I don't have a lot of creative brain space for much else. And so actually having this time to really focus on, like you were saying, other, whether it was art, my family, reading, thinking, meditating on creative stuff, like it was actually very productive. And I feel very thankful that I had that kind of quiet time to work on something else that I would never
so you heard it
normally
here.
had.
You heard it here first. Scarlett Johansson retiring from acting.
No.
So,
No, I'm leaving that announcement for Chris Evans.
okay. By the way, before you rolled in to sit down and talk with us, Danielle was saying, "Oh my God, Black Widow's coming in." That was,
So
you know
I
what?
was freaking. I was like geeking out a little. I was like, okay, in 2 minutes, guys, Black Widow will be sitting right there. And by the way, she's married to Colin Jost. I'm obsessed with SNL. This is crazy.
Yeah, so it's a thrill to have you on. Okay, so look, The Outset is out. It launched, and I'm sure it's in many places now. And ways you're going to tell us where to find it, but it will be growing. It's going to be showing up on shelves everywhere. Where can people find out more about The Outset?
So you can go to theoutset.com and you can find us there. And that's where you can buy our products for now. And then later on in April, we will be launching in Sephora in all 500 stores.
That is very awesome. Well,
Thank
congratulations. You. And what was it that Bill Murray whispered to you at the end of Lost in Translation? Just out of curiosity.
You need to know.
He said, yeah, he was like, "Can you recommend a good night cream?"
Okay, yeah, right. I don't think he found it. No offense, I love him. Well, I didn't mean it that way. Stop it. Screw you people. All right, Scarlett Johansson on with us. The Outset launched and it's out. Go to theoutset.com, find out how to get it. It will be at Sephora any day now. And by the way, you'll be on with my best friend Bobby Brown just a little bit. You tell her I said hi. She's gonna dig really deep. It's a pleasure having you on, Scarlett. Come on anytime and tell the family we said hi, okay?
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
Regulate.
you.
Best of luck to you.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.